So, this just arrived. This is the ESEE Pacaya. Let's open it and see what it actually is. Typical ESEE packaging, so nothing fancy, although it is better than most boxes you get knives in. So perhaps it is a little bit fancy. ESEE is a bit of a no-nonsense brand. It delivers not much in the way of luxury. So yeah, I expect them to be very, very, very practical. This will not be a collector's knife. Although I immediately have to contradict myself because this knife, and you can see it here, is a, can you see this? Is a first production run. So whenever a new knife is introduced at ESEE, they first do a first production run. So that's the original knife with no changes whatsoever, and they are indeed limited. So there's that. But other than that, this is a knife to be used. So what do you get here? Well, we get a knife, of course, and we get the Kydex sheath. What else is in the box? We get, yeah, indeed some nice stickers. I like that. Another sticker. Yeah. And then this ESEE Knives Randall's Adventure ESEE card. That's very nice. To show you the box here, there is something interesting here. That's the lifetime warranty. I don't know if you can read it, but I will read it for you. No questions asked, warranty on all knives and sheaths. If you break it, send it back and we'll replace it. Warranty is transferable. In other words, we warranty the knife no matter how many times it has been traded, sold or given away. No sales receipt required. We do not guarantee against rust, normal wear and tear or loss and theft. So that's a pretty rock solid guarantee, I would say. Well done, ESEE. So what's our first visual impression? This thing looks serious. Yes, this is a serious knife. It does not look aggressive though. It is not a self-defense knife. It is a tool to work with. I'm not a big fan of self-defense knives. Knives are stabby, of course, and pointy, but I don't think they should be primarily made to put into people. So this knife is not that, and that is very nice. So, very clean lines. No weird design choices, I would say. It's a very, very, very big blade. It's also not exactly thin stock, but not exactly very thick either. It's in between there. It's a flat grind, so it will cut very, very, very well. So yeah, no weird design choices, no gimmicks. Clean finish. Let's have a look here. Yeah, nice, even grind. And the edge on this thing, it is a very nice edge. And it feels very, very, very sharp. So I think they did a good job on that. So nothing sloppy on this knife. So that's already a good sign. So this is my Carta. It's probably fixed to the tang. It's a full tang knife, of course, as you can see. So yeah, everything nice. So let's take a look at the steel. So what type of steel is this? This is CPM 3V. And that should tell you a lot about what this knife is meant to do. I'll put the composition of this knife on the screen and also add the compositions of MagnaCut and 20CV for comparison. So as you can see, 7.5% chromium, that's not enough, that's not rust-free. You need 11%, 10-11% chromium at least to be stainless steel. This is not stainless steel. It does have 7.5%, so that's still quite a lot. It has 0.8 carbon. So the thing with carbon is that it binds with the chromium and it creates chromium carbides, and then of course that chromium in solution is not available to protect the steel from rust. But since it is not a lot of carbon, there will still be a lot of free chromium left. It also has molybdenum, moly, and moly also helps to protect the steel against rust. So that is good. Of course, if you compare it to MagnaCut, true stainless, 20CV, true stainless, so that is a different thing. So yes, it will rust, it will not rust like crazy. So other than that, 23V is not really about edge retention records, as you might have noticed. And of course, it's not about corrosion resistance either. It will keep a decent edge. It has vanadium and vanadium carbide. But the main thing about 3V is toughness. So what makes it special is it's extremely resistant to chipping and cracking. You can twist it, you can impact it, you can baton it, you can abuse it. It just keeps going. This is an awesome steel. If you compare this to something like S35VN or 20CV, yeah, I mean, it's just much more solid, much more tough. It will use, of course, it will lose its edge a little bit faster. Not that much faster, but a little bit faster. But it is so much harder to actually damage that edge. And that is why, of course, ESEE does puts this type of steel in a knife like this, and this is an outdoorsy knife, and this is built for toughness. So I think very good choice of steel in a knife like this. Yes, you will have to take care of it. You will have to oil it a little bit. Now it has this protective coating, of course, that will reduce the chance of rust. It will not do away with it completely, but it will improve things, and of course that's a good thing. Still, it will take a lot of care. So let's look at the handle and the ergonomics. First of all, you have this finger choil here that fits very nicely. So as you know, I have medium-sized hands. This fits in my hand. There is no issue whatsoever with that. My thumb rests securely on the spine of the blade. There is no jimping, by the way, here. I think this is done to be able to use ferro rods to create a fire. Now, honestly, I have ferro rods, yes. I mean, why not just bring a lighter? It's not, I mean, with a ferro rod, you have to carry something anyway. So, yeah, a lighter anyway. So no finger grooves here. It's a very neutral handling. As you can see, there's almost no contouring done. So there's no forced hand position. You can use it the way you want to use it, and it just works. Now that said, personally, I think it could have been a little bit more contoured. It is not uncomfortable at all. It works nicely. The finger choil does what it needs to do. Could have been a little bit thicker here. But other than that, I have no complaints, and it is not uncomfortable at all. A little bit more shaping perhaps would improve long-term comfort. I don't know. So, is everything perfect with this knife then? No, it is not. This is the sheath. First of all, this came in vertical carry configuration, so you can change this to horizontal carry, which I did, and that took, well, it took quite a little bit of work figuring out which holes to put it in and then where to put everything back again. It worked, and so now I can use it in horizontal carry. It doesn't work too bad. There is a lot of room here. It slides over the belt quite easily. I can even remove it from my belt quite easily as well, so no real complaints there either. So all of that is fine, but there is one thing. So you put this knife in here, it moves a little bit, but that's still okay. But then when I draw the knife, usually there are tiny pieces. There's a tiny piece here, tiny pieces of Kydex on the knife. So that tells me that the Kydex is being cut, and that might have an impact on dulling the knife. Of course, the Kydex is much less hard than this steel, so I don't know if that will actually dull it. But well, I honestly a little bit more effort could have gone into this sheet. That's for sure. Other than that, I mean, it clicks. When it's in there, it's in there. It's not gonna get loose. So that is fine. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something that ESEE could improve. Okay, so that said, what is my conclusion on this knife? Well, it is excellent. The knife itself is excellent. steel choice is perfect, makes sense. Geometry on this knife makes perfect sense. It will be a nice cutter. This is not necessarily a pretty knife, it's not an ugly knife. I think the aesthetics are perfectly fine. I like it a lot. But its first purpose is not meant to be beautiful. This is actually a knife that is meant to work, so and it's meant to keep on working when it is being abused. So impressive knife. The sheath is fine. It is not amazing, but it is fine. So what are the next steps? Well, obviously I want to use this knife. I want to cut with it. I want to abuse it a little, not too much because I really like it. And I want to see if the 3V does what it is supposed to do. So that will be one of the next videos. Wait for it, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see.